All right, guys, welcome to our talk about unit conversion. I know what you're thinking, unit conversion isn't terribly fun, but today it's going to be fun. And it's important. And I will start by telling you why it's important. And actually, it's kind of a fun example. Fun for us, not fun for the guys who built this thing. If you look up this thing called the Mars Climate Orbiter, to look it up on Wikipedia and you can read about it. It's basically where NASA turned a Mars orbiter into a Mars lander, and not in the good sense. And it was because of a unit conversion error. Effectively, unit conversion just means we can't decide, everybody in the world can't decide how to quantify things. So if you ask someone how tall they are in the US, they'll tell you in feet and inches. If you ask someone in Europe, they'll tell you in, I don't know, meters probably. So we just can't decide. So sometimes somebody gives you a quantity, but you have to convert it in order to use it. The cool thing about this is you already know how to do this. I can prove it to you. Watch this. If I tell you I have 36 eggs and I want to know how many dozen, you can probably tell me off the top of your head 36 eggs. That's 3 dozen, dude. But to show you how and how we formalize this, effectively what you're doing is you're taking the thing you know and then you set it up with what do I want, and then you multiply it by something that equals 1. And what I mean is a ratio of the things, it's a conversion factor. A conversion factor is something that equals 1. So, and the way you do it, if I've got eggs up here, I want eggs on the bottom. If I've got dozen up here, I want dozen up on the top. And you know that 1 dozen is 12 eggs. And there you go. Now you've got simple multiplication and division. 36 times 1 divided by 12. You can probably do that in your head. I'm not even going to pull out the calculator. That's 3 dozen eggs. All right, so you already know how to convert units. Dozen is a weird unit, but anyways, it's a unit. So let's give this a shot, shall we? One cool thing to always have on hand, and this is just Appendix B from the physics book in the link below. I'm using this open source physics book that I really like. You've got conversion factors here. Anytime you need to look up something like how many inches are in a meter. 1 meter equals 39.37 inches. It's great. And all kinds of cool conversion factors in there. All right, so let's give an example. And this is also from that same physics book. This is on page 39, problem 45. It's asking, it takes 2 pi radians, rad, to get around a circle, which is the same as 360 degrees. What they're saying is 2 pi radians equals 360 degrees. That just means all the way around a circle, however many, degrees that is. You've got 360 degrees around the circle. Okay, how many radians are 1 degree? That's what you know. How many radians? That's what you want. We're going to multiply that by something that equals 1 to get our answer. In this case, they gave it to us. It's right there. It's a direct flight. We've got degrees up here. We'll put degrees down on the bottom. We've got 2 pi radians up here. And there you go. We'll whip out our handy calculator. And we've got 1 times 2 pi divided by 360 equals 0.0175 radians. And a cool thing, just to point out, is in our little unit conversion factors here. If you go to the very last page, check this out. 1 degree equals 0.01745 radians. Every once in a while, simple problem like this, there's already a conversion factor for it, but if you don't have that, boom, you can do it in 1 step. I call it a direct flight because it's kind of like if you're taking a trip and you've got to fly somewhere, you don't have to make any stops, non-stop flight, and you're there, 1 conversion factor. But what if you can't get there in 1 direct flight? Hey, be the travel agent and get there in 2 flights, have a little layover. So this is what we're going to do. Number 37, same book. Mount Everest is 29.28 feet. And what is that in kilometers? And here, it's really nice, they gave you one. You could look this one up over in the appendix, but they gave you 1 meter is 3.281 feet. Kilometers is really close to meters. Let's use it. So we're going to multiply by, we've got feet up here. Let's put feet down here. 281 feet, 1 meter. Great, but we want kilometers. You know kilometers to meters. Kilo, you've got meters down here, kilometers up here. 1 kilo means 1,000. Done. Well, I mean, it'll be done as soon as I put in my calculator. All right, 29,028 divided by 3.281 divided by 1,000. There's our answer, 8.85. Just depends on how many significant figures they want. But there you go. Boom. One layover, but in the end, oh, I forgot, this is the most satisfying part, is you've got feet down here, you've got feet up there. Simple division means those cancel out. Meters up here, meters down there, those cancel out. The only thing that's left is kilometers. And boom. Done. See, guys? You got this. Let's do another one. It's going to be really nasty. I promise. But it's going to be awesome. You're going to feel really good when we get this one done. Check this out. A furlong is 220 yards. That is going to be a conversion factor. A fortnight is is 2 weeks. Come on, I know you were all thinking it. Convert a speed of 1 furlong per fortnight to millimeters per second. Wait, what did that say? So I'm just going to use fur and fort. I'll put it over here. 1 furlong per fortnight. Okay, that's what that means, is how many millimeters per second. Effectively what we've got here, we've got a unit of length divided by a unit of time. Unit of length, unit of time. We're basically going to do 2 unit conversions in the same problem, because you've got a unit you've got to convert and another unit you've got to convert. So just start with either one. They listed furlongs, and a furlong is a really weird thing, so let's do that one. Furlong on the bottom is yard on the top. 220 yards. A furlong means 1. All right, we've got yards. We want to get to millimeters. Yards are kind of a terrible, you're never going to find that in the chart. Let's convert that to feet. Let's put yards down here, feet up here. If you're in the States, you know that 1 yard is 3 feet. Now then, we've got feet. Pull out our little unit conversion guy. Feet, and we want millimeters. There's no millimeters over here, but we've got feet to meters. Let's just do that. 3.281, we already used this conversion factor. What did I say? 3.281 feet is 1 meter. Meters, we're getting really close. Milli means 1,000th, right? So we'll put meters down here. 1,000 millimeters. And just to get us feeling good, furlong, yard, feet, meter. Boom, we're left with millimeters. We're doing great. Now we need to get fortnights to seconds. I'm out of space. We're just going to continue on the next line. All right, what did they give us? 1 fortnight is 2 weeks. I know that you guys know a lot more about Fortnite than I do. Having never played it, don't judge. 1 fortnight is 2 weeks. We'll just put WK, right? So 2 weeks. Weeks, we need to get to seconds. You could probably look this up, how many weeks is a second, but let's just, we're travel agents, let's just do this the long way because we can and because we don't have to look a thing up. Watch this. 1 week is how many, what's the next thing we can do? Days. Right? 1 week, 7 days. Easy. We're getting closer. Days, we can go to hours. How about that? 1 day, 24 hours. These are all things you know. 1 hour, what can we go to? Minutes. 60 minutes. All right, and remember, we've got hours down there, hours up here, minutes. 1 minute is how many seconds? 60 seconds. Look at that. Let's do this. Fortnight. week, day, hour, minute. We've got millimeters per seconds. Now all we have to do is calculate. Let's do it. Okay. Woo! Here we go. 220 yards times 3 feet divided by 3.281 times 1,000. All right, and then divided by 2, divided by 7, divided by 24, divided by 60, divided by 60. If my math is right, and it always is, not 0.166 millimeters per second. Boom. Box it because it's right. See, look at that. We took a bunch of ways to get there, but in the end, it's the same process, just a bunch of different times. We've got our millimeters, we've got our seconds, and there's our answer. Boom. Now I'm going to give you one bonus problem here as kind of a trick. Sometimes you're dealing with units that are cubed. So in this case, the volume of the Earth. Volume is always something, some measure of length cubed. And sometimes, you know, if you look up here in our little conversion factor table, you've got a few volume conversions, but gallons, liters, feet cubed to meters cubed. Actually, that one could come in handy. But in any case, length is a lot easier to work with, and I'll show you a little trick. Let's take this one at a time. The volume of the Earth is 10 to the 21 power meters cubed-ish. We're going to multiply that by something to get kilometers cubed. Okay, you already know the relationship between meters and kilometers, right? 1 kilometer, 1,000 meters. But we need them to be cubed. Cube the whole thing. Like I said, this whole expression equals 1. 1 to the third power is still 1. So the math works out. In the end, everything in here gets cubed. So the trick is when you put this into your calculator, you're going to do 10 to the 21st power divided by 1,000 cubed. Make sure you put this in the calculator right, but everything in there is cubed. 1 cubed is still 1. So that's all we got to do. Boom. 10 to the 12 kilometers cubed. Easy. Let's do B and C because we can. Okay, it's the same thing. 21 meters cubed times something equals how many, what do we want? Miles cubed. That is a terrible unit that well, anyways, I'm sure it's useful. But you'll never find that in a unit conversion. But what we can find is, what do we got? We got meters and we've got miles. So 1 meter is 6.214 times 10 to the minus 24th. Ooh, it's so gross. All right, we've got meters down here. 1 meter is 6.214 times 10 to the minus 4th miles. Cube our thing. 1 to the third power. Perfect. Calculator. And we've got this. Ready? 10 to the 21st power times, I'm going to use the parentheses because we've got this 6.214. E means times 10 to the minus 4th. And my parentheses, raise that to the third power. You can see what we've got here matches what we've got here. Boom. I'm just going to say 2.4 miles cubed. Again, it could be 2.39, 2.399. Talk to your teacher about significant figures. Or tell me you need some help with that and I'll make a video. All right, C, this one's pretty easy as well. 10 to the 21 meters cubed times something. What do we want? We want centimeters cubed. You know meters to centimeters, don't you? Meters, 1 meter. If you look on a yardstick, or a meter stick, I'm sorry, you got 100 centimeters to the meter. Cube it, and boom. Centimeters cubed. You can put this one in your calculator. It's 10 to the 27th. And you'll notice that effectively, if you like subtracting or adding exponents, you can totally do that here. No problem. Just notice that this one is bigger. 27 is bigger because it's a smaller unit. So there should be a lot more of them. All right, box your answers. because there's a feeling of pride in it. That's unit conversion. If you have questions, post them below. If you have topics you need me to cover, if you're studying at home right now because of coronavirus, let me know. I'm happy to help out with any topic you've got, and we'll see you next time.